Have you ever looked back and realized that even the hardest seasons were part of God's perfect plan? Here in Isaiah 25, verse 1, we see a song for that moment. When your gratitude overflows and your heart can finally say, "Oh Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name, for you have done wonderful things. Plans formed long ago, faithful and true." This particular verse is pure praise. It's an anthem rising from a heart that has seen God's faithfulness over time. So many of us, we can reflect on the fact that we've seen God's faithfulness over and over and over again. Jeremiah said, "Morning by morning, new mercies I see." Isaiah isn't just thanking God for what he's done. He's celebrating who God is: faithful, trustworthy, and eternally good. To exalt God means to lift him above everything else, to magnify his greatness above our struggles, our doubts, and even our victories. Jesus asked Peter, "Peter, do you love me more than these?" And when you define these in that text, he's asking, do you love me more than anything? Here, Isaiah's words remind us that the wonderful things God has done aren't random acts of mercy. They're the results of divine plans written long before we even faced our battles. The songwriter says, "Everything that happened to me that was good, God did it." Here in this text, it says his counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. That means what God plans, he performs. And what he promises, he fulfills. I'm thankful for that. When we can't trace his hand, we can trust his heart. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment fits inside a plan authored by perfect wisdom. So when life feels uncertain, praise becomes your weapon. It shifts your focus from what's missing to who is present. It moves your heart from panic to peace. When you lift God high, your worries grow small. Exalting God isn't just a song, it's a lifestyle. It's choosing gratitude over grumbling, faith over fear, surrender over striving. You exalt God when you forgive instead of retaliating, when you trust instead of complaining, when you worship even when the outcome is unknown. Dr. Martin Luther King says, when you are able to trust God with the stairway, even though you can only see the first step, that's how heaven sees victory on earth. Isaiah teaches us that worship flows best from reflection. When you remember how far God has brought you, how many prayers he's answered, and how many storms he's calmed, praise becomes effortless. Grandmama said, if you can just count your blessings and name them one by one, if you can just take a moment and look how far the Lord has brought you over. Somebody said, every time I turn around, he keeps on blessing me. The same God who parted seas and raised the dead is still doing and working wonderful things right now today. Often behind the scenes, but always on time. So I encourage you to lift him up. Exalt him, not just for what he's done, but because he is faithful and true. Even if you can't see the full picture, know that he's already painted it with purpose. Every thread of your story is woven into his glory. Although my weary eyes cannot see, he knows what's best for me, and he will guide until the day is done. There's not a friend, like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one. Amen.